What's going on YouTube? Craig here from All Tech Together, coming at you with another product review. And today we're going to look at the Sound Blaster K3 Plus. Now this is a USB sort of digital audio mixing board from none other than Creative. Now full disclosure, this was sent to me by the fine folks at Creative, but by no means does that mean I'm going to give this product a free ride. Today's review is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to give more of an over the shoulder because I want to show you how this thing works in real time and kind of my impressions on what this product can do and what you can use it for, just because I think this is something that a lot of people don't really know they need, or if they do, they're not really sure if this is going to be the right one for them. So I'm just going to give you as much information as I can and let you make the decision. So with that out of the way, let's jump into it. Okay, so here we have the K3 Plus from Creative. Now I'm doing this a little bit differently this time because I really want to do sort of a real-time demonstration. So let's take a look at the ins and outs ports of the K3 Plus just to start. So if I look here at the front, we have one connection for a microphone, we have another connection for a microphone, we have an instrument attachment, so keyboard, any sort of electronic instrument, and then we have two monitoring jacks here for listening to yourself when you're singing, playing music, all that kind of stuff. Now, fancy thing about it is, if you want, you can hook a 3.5mm jack up, or 3.5mm microphone rather, up to that. I'll just grab it here for a second, but you need to buy an adapter. So if you went out to your local electronics store and you just buy one of these 1/4 inch adapters, which takes from 1/8 to 1/4 inch, you can actually plug your existing lapel mic or 3.5mm mic or whatever you have into this, and it will pick up. So you can actually have two microphones at the same time going, so you don't always have to buy the sort of higher end with the phantom power. So that's kind of a nice little thing, and I haven't heard anybody else say that. But that's it for the front of this unit. Now if we spin to the back, we have our USB power. So this runs to my PC currently. We got a right and left line in speaker. We have a mobile in and out, so you can hook up a phone, things like that to this. And then I have a right and left line out speaker. And then I also have a ground. And that ground is actually really nice. If you hear a lot of buzzing in your recording or a lot of static, you can actually run a piece of copper wire and then run it down to something metal, and it would give it another path. So it's going to cut out that interference, which is actually really nice. So now once we have it set back up, and we want to look at the front of this unit. Now, the biggest problem I have with this is there's just a ton of flashing red buttons all over it. And I've read the instructions, I've looked at them, I've tried to understand them, so we're going to give it a try here. We'll start down here in the bottom, my left corner. We have the inputs. So the input is my microphone right now, and I can up the bass or the treble of my microphones, and I have microphone 1 and microphone 2 here, so I can control them independently of each other, which is actually a super duper really nice little feature for streams. Now we can do a voiceover. Now if I turn this off, whoa, I dropped the whole machine right in the ground. I didn't drop it on the ground, thank God. If I turn that off, nothing really happens because I'm not doing a voiceover. Voiceover is for like music, so it would automatically lower the music when I start talking. Now, I'm not going to hit the soundboard button yet, just due to the fact that I want to show that sort of by itself. Here is the 48 volt phantom power, and this is what you need to run this type of microphone. You can have it on and have a 3.5mm microphone in the other spot, and it's not going to affect it, which is actually really, really nice. So you can do that, hit that, and that's going to power your microphones. If I turn that off right now, my microphone would just cut out. And then I have my line in or mobile in volume here. So that's just sort of the inputs, and that's the front of this unit. Over here I have the outputs. So I have the mobile out volume, and then I have the output volume to my headphones. So currently I only have one pair of headphones, my Audio-Technica is plugged in. So I'm going to use this to adjust the volume of my monitoring to hear back what I'm saying to you. And if I had another person, a co-host or something like that on my here, I could do that. So that's really good. Now up here I have just a bunch of little, it looks like they're flashing on your screen, but they're not in real life. So just be aware of that. It's just the flicker of the LEDs. And then we'll get back to that in a second. And then over here we have my mixing and monitoring in and out. So if I want to hear the monitoring, I gotta push the button. if I want to hear the FX, I push that button and that sound effects, and that'll allow me to hear what's going on. And then the mixing on and the FX on. So I have to make sure those are all sort of lit up, ready to go in order to make this work. Now, if I want to do the soundboard, I come down here and I just push the soundboard button. And now this is going to start doing funny things here. And I got 6 different sets. And down here in the corner, and you can't see it really, but there's a little legend that tells me what it is. So number 1 is an entrance. So if I click this and I push it as a button, you should hear an entrance. Or if I click the 2, I hit cheer. 3 is baby. 4 is laughter. 5 is gunshots. And 6 is a crow. And those are the only 6 that actually come on the unit. So this brings me to sort of my second, not con, but nitpick. It would be really nice if we had more, or at least be able to put our own on here with an SD card or a firmware update or something, just due to the fact that those 6 will never be used in my sort of domain here, but maybe yours it might, so maybe I'm way out to lunch there. So once we've got that, and we've sort of figured, I can turn that off. And that's going to turn off my soundboard and turn those sound effects off. Now if I want, I can also play with this dial. When this is out, I can use my reverb settings, I guess we'll call them. So if I click this over to 1, and now it's got some auto tune going on. And I got the halls, and I got the rooms, and I've got the different stadiums and all this kind of stuff, concerts. I can turn the reverb up, and it's actually, like, again, I don't think I will ever use it, but it's there. It's something that, you know, people can use if it involves, or if it's good for your sort of setup. Now the other thing we can do, and that was a little rough, sorry about the audio, is we can use the auto tune feature. So as I turn this, so that's off, I click it once, now it's going to give me some auto tune. And I can go into major or minor key just by flicking that switch. Now, again, not for me. I'm not much of a singer at all, but for some people, it might be worth it. And then we can just, go all the way back. See, this is what I was saying. It's tough sometimes to sort of figure out what's going on. There we go. So now I've got it turned off. I'm back to normal, you know, just my own beautiful angelic voice. And we've turned that off. So you can see sort of how it's a lot of buttons and knobs, and some of them do different things. And I'm sure if you got really comfortable and used it a lot, it would be a lot easier to sort of go through. But I don't use the auto tune, I don't use the sound effects, and I'm certainly not going to use the reverb. But for certain people who are doing music and stuff like that, they very well might. So this is the look. If you have any questions out there, please feel free to ask me about this unit. I think this unit actually is really, really decent. I think it's good for what I'm using it for as well. And I'm not using it to even probably a quarter of what this is actually designed to do. And so it really does help set up your streams or your YouTube videos. And I think this is going to be used for all my YouTube videos from now on, because it just makes a really nice interface to hook up my microphone and hear the monitoring and all that kind of stuff before I start recording. And it's nice just to get the acoustic set up. So with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, hit that subscribe button down below if you like what I do here. Leave those comments. I'd love to hear back from you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.